Each and every year, Christmas is a huge opportunity to show people what generosity looks like. This will be the 15th year of what we like to call Merry Christmas Gulf Coast. And this might be the most excited I've been since the event started in 2004. You see, over the years, this weekend has been so many things. We've met at our campuses, at Hank Aaron Stadium, and local schools all over Mobile and Baldwin counties. We've served over 20,000 families and given away millions of dollars worth of food and toys. Needless to say, with your help, we've been able to do so much for those in our community. Something I love so much about MCGC is that every year it evolves little by little to better meet the needs of families in Mobile and Baldwin County. And I'm most excited about this year because it includes some of the biggest changes we've ever made. The idea birthed out of one of our very own City Hope families. Jessica and her husband Aaron are foster parents. And last year they were moved by compassion to do something huge for other foster families.
A couple of years ago, Aaron and I both just felt like God was asking us to do something as a family, but we really couldn't pinpoint what that thing was. When we found out the need in our community for foster homes, there was no way that we could just sit by and not do anything about it. So coming up on the Christmas season, we had been hearing just this anxiety and fear, stress, worry amongst the foster care community in Mobile just about Christmas and the worry coming along with Christmas. How are we going to provide Christmas for all these kids in addition to the children that we already have? Where's the money going to come from? I knew that if we could just expose that need to people, there was no question they would get behind it. And so it wasn't a question. It was like, we have to do this. We knew that we could reach out to the community, our church, our small group family, heck, even social media just jumped right in. Like, people from social media jumped in, and we were able to provide Christmas for over 200 children in Mobile and Baldwin County. Of those 200 kids that we were able to help, a huge portion of those kids have never sat around a Christmas tree with a family and actually had presents to open up on Christmas Day. So to see the pictures come in after Christmas of just a family sitting around a tree and there's presents everywhere, I can't explain it.
So when we started planning for this year's event, we were so inspired by what Jessica and her family were able to accomplish last year by providing Christmas to over 200 children in the foster care system. What makes this year's Merry Christmas Gulf Coast unique is that after meeting with DHR, they let us know of a need that hadn't been met in over 20 years. See, there are roughly over 1,000 families that are considered family preservation units. These families have opened their homes to cousins, nieces, nephews, even their grandkids, to help prevent those kids from having to enter the foster care system. We're so excited for this year's MCGC, and one of the reasons is that we get to bring the event back to our campuses. We'll get to welcome these families into our home at each of your locations, and each family is going to be able to experience what City Hope Church is all about. These kids will get a very special Kid City experience made just for them. Moms and dads will hear the gospel presented by your campus pastor, and then of course the main event, each parent will get an all-out shopping experience where they get to handpick free gifts for each of their kids. So we want to make sure that you've got December 7th marked on your calendar, and we're going to be rolling out a lot more details as we get closer. But some things to keep in mind. For $100, you can help provide this Christmas experience to a child. And all we ask is that now you begin praying for what God wants you to give. Also begin praying for the event specifically for the families that are going to be receiving gifts, for volunteers as they come together, for lives that are going to be transformed by the gospel. We believe that this is the heartbeat of our church, to fight for every family, and that includes those outside these walls. So join us now in spreading the true hope of Jesus through this year's Merry Christmas Gulf Coast.